A book written like a Hallmark movie with Filipino food as a highlighting point? Pfft, sign me up. Hello, I'm Allie, the literary sewist. Here are my Crafting Castle I create projects inspired by the books I read. Today, I will be dreaming about chicken adobo and ube crinkles while I tell you all about the Tita Rosie's Kitchen mystery, Arsenic and Adobo by Mia Manansala. I want to warn you not to read this book while you're hungry, unless you like to torture yourself. I'd also like to mention to take a look at the author's note at the beginning. I'm glad I did, as it expresses a point of view that could be taken poorly without context in regards to understanding Filipino culture and their history with police in their own country. But this isn't a heavy book. This is a lighthearted, fun mystery novel. So let me tell you more about that. Lila grew up in a small town in Illinois and couldn't wait to get to the big city of Chicago. While studying the culinary arts, she met and fell in love with one of the local chefs. Not too long after, though, their relationship goes south real fast, ending when Lila finds out that he's been cheating on her. Knowing that her family's restaurant is struggling, Lila hangs her head and goes back home to help. Tita Rosie's restaurant is her second home, and Lila easily falls back into the rhythm of things. Not only does that mean hanging out with her lifelong BFF, Adina, who happens to work at the coffee shop next to the restaurant, but it also means letting her nosy aunties back into her personal life. And like all good aunties, they're very concerned with making sure that Lila marries the perfect man. Of their choosing, of course. Unfortunately, Lila's ex-boyfriend, Derek, is still hanging around town and making people miserable. He is the local newspaper's resident food critic. Not only has he written scathing review claiming Tita Rosie's is awful, but he insists on still coming in for free food. Not to mention that his stepfather is the owner of the building that the restaurant is in. With terrible reviews floating around, business has slowed down, leaving them struggling to pay the rent. So when Derek suddenly dies at a very young age right in front of Lila, who just happened to serve him the food he was eating, let's just say things begin to spiral out of control for Lila. The new detective in town seems determined to take Lila down at whatever cost, and the evidence seems to be pointing directly at her. But Lila knows she isn't the one who killed Derek. It had to be an accident, right? Or was something more sinister going on? While Lila works to find out what is really going on, we get to know all of her overly helpful aunties, the small town she once ran away from, and even the new hot dentist who conveniently happens to be single. Wink wink. Will Lila be sent to jail? Will they lose their family restaurant? Will Lila find true love discovering that home really is where the heart is, just like all those Hallmark movies tell us? Ha! You're just gonna have to read to find out. Time for discussion. What are your favorite comfort foods? Mine is cheese, specifically sharp cheddar. I can eat it off the brick all day long, and it just happens to make me so happy. Oh, hey, Sugar, can you add cheese to the shopping list for me? Everyone else, drop a line in the comments so that I know what your favorites are. I may just need to add them to the list too. Hey Allie, what just happened to make you choose this project? Well, I'm a messy chef. Like, really messy. I've never learned the art of cleaning up as you go along, and if you've seen some of my other videos, I really do like a good apron. For this one, I felt like I needed a simpler, more classic style, more like what you might see Tita Rosie wearing in the kitchen. So, red gingham it is. Now to go hit up those bonus recipes you're going to find at the end of this book. I was instantly impressed with this book from the beginning. I greatly appreciated the author and her team took the time to include a note about Filipino culture and the glossary with pronunciation guide. It can be frustrating to read a book and you feel like you're misunderstanding things just because you're not part of that culture. I continued to be impressed as the book delivers on the opening statement of, "My life has become a rom-com cliché." Sure, that may sound easy to do, but in so many ways it did things better than you would expect. The authenticity of Filipino family life was so genuine and heartfelt. While I'm not Filipino, I have experienced this through many friends that I've had over the years. It felt so natural to smile and cringe along with Lila. I enjoyed her wit and her frustrations through the story, and sometimes I wanted to yell at her for sticking her nose in places it didn't belong. But I loved what Mia Manansala brought to the table with this Hallmark-esque rom-com turned murder mystery. So, in case you didn't figure it out, this is 100% a 5-star book. Please go pick it up and have a good time. As always, I will have a link in the video description for you. And after you read it, let me know what you think. Reading this book made me so hungry. Oh, sounds so good. Now that I have the perfect apron, I'm going to go cook something yummy, probably one of the recipes in the back of the book. If this story sounds like a mouth-watering good time, give this video a thumbs up. And since you're still here, pop on over there for even more of my book-inspired sewing projects. We'll see you next time. Before you hop away, drop down to the video description to sign up for my newsletter and receive this frog coin pouch pattern for free.